Welcome to CRE Cafecito, the CCIM Miami podcast, where commercial real estate insights are served with a shot of Miami flavor. Hosted by CCIM's own Ruben Ruban, better known as Ruben the Cuban, this show brings you conversations with top professionals, CCIM fundamentals made simple, and the latest South Florida market moves. Each episode delivers practical nuggets of wisdom you can put to work right away in your commercial real estate business. Now, grab your cafecito and let's fuel success in commercial real estate.
Dios mío, buckle up. Welcome to another episode of CRE Cafecito Miami, CCIM Miami District podcast. Today we have a very special guest. She's near and dear to my heart and to many of our hearts here at the Miami District, Patricia Quintana with Comreal. And she's our guest today. We're going to talk a little bit about her stories and get a couple words of wisdom. And Patricia, welcome to the show.
Ruben, thank you. This is so exciting. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm excited. I'm really, really excited.
Thank you for the opportunity, and let's go.
Absolutely. Let's jump right into it, because I know what I was telling you earlier, when I first started coming around the Miami District CCIM, the very first person that greeted me at the door was Patricia with that beautiful smile.
Oh, you're so nice.
So and since then it's always been there. So I always look forward to seeing you and to hearing you, and you always put a nice ray of sunshine in the day.
Thank you, Ruben.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So
that's so nice of you to say.
it's the truth, and that's exactly how I feel. But let's go back. Let's go back. Let's let the audience hear a little bit about Patricia. When Patricia was, I don't know, let's go back to like high school. I always like to go back where you're from and how you grew up a little bit.
Sure.
Give us a little color back there.
Well, I'm from Colombia.
Oh, okay.
I immigrated from Colombia in 1969 with my parents
Mm-hmm.
and my little sister. I was 6 years old when I got to this country. So I've had all my schooling here.
Nice.
I went to Everglades Elementary in Westchester.
Uh-huh.
I went to West Miami Junior High when it was called Junior High. Now it's middle school.
Yeah.
And I went to Cora Park Senior High.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you're homegrown here in Miami.
I am.
Wow. So you've seen a lot of stuff change and so forth. So
I've seen a lot of changes. Yes.
So when you were in high school, did you know you wanted to get into commercial real estate?
No, I was not at all.
Not at all.
I was going to study business administration.
Okay.
And I was going to be in a multinational company,
Yeah.
traveling back and forth. But no, I became a commercial real estate agent.
So how did you go from wanting to be a multinational businesswoman to commercial real estate?
Oh, it's so funny because when I was going to school, I was working as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working for the Miami Heat. I worked,
Basketball?
yes. I
Oh.
worked for them for 20 years at the stadium that's no longer there. They knocked it down and made the new one. But I was a server, I was a bartender, I was a greeter, I was a hostess, and I had a blast.
Mm.
You know what it is to see all the Heat games
Wow.
in close up, because I had the VIP area, the VIP lounge, and it was amazing. And I got to see all the concerts, all the
Wow.
shows, yes. So then that's how. And while I was working there, I was serving somebody, and they told me, would you like to work for a liquor distributor for us? And I said, what? Liquor distributor? Yes, I think you're very good with the people. I like the way you are. You're very friendly. And I said, okay, I'll give it a try. And I was working for a wine and spirit distributor when I was going to school. And that became sort of like a full-time job.
Oh, wow.
So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, sure.
And that got me into modeling. I did a little bit of modeling years ago.
Wow.
Yes. So I was in Brazil. I did a Heineken commercial. I did IHOP commercial. But those were the days back then. That was a lot of fun. Yes.
So you went from, I see a little trend there. You get the, serving some spirits to distributing spirits and making commercials about spirit, So.
Yes, exactly. That's interesting. Yes, you put it that way, but yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Happened, yeah.
But you kept it. So then you're doing modeling, and from modeling you jumped to commercial real estate, or what, how did that?
Yeah, well, when my neighbor, she said, and this was because I got my real estate license in 1986.
Okay.
I was 22 years old when I got my real estate license. And it was because of my neighbor. My neighbor said, you should get your real estate license. I said, you never know. You could always make money on the side. I said, okay, I'll try it. And I got my license, and everything was, I started doing residential real estate back then.
Okay.
But that was not my cup of tea. It so happens that when I went to interview for a position that they were hiring, and then the lady said, you shouldn't be in residential. I think you should be in commercial real estate. And it was the wife of Steve Smith.
Oh.
So she was the one that got me into commercial real estate. And I interviewed with Mr. Smith, and I was doing the heat games while I was working with Mr. Smith.
Oh.
With Steve Smith. And so I was doing part-time the heat games and working
at Conrail.
At Conrail.
So you started off about right into Conrail.
I started in Conrail.
So you tried a little residential, and you're like, oh, that's not my flavor. And then you went into to the commercial thanks to Steve Smith's wife.
Yes.
Wow. Carol Smith.
Yes.
How fitting. And look, we're now here at the office of Conrail.
I'm back.
Decades later,
yes.
and we're here.
And I'm here.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. So when you started off, so Conrail is centric or focused mostly on industrial, correct?
Correct. I did an office too.
An office, okay.
I did office and industrial, and that's when my broker Steve Smith encouraged me to become a CCIM designee.
Oh, okay.
And because of him, I was offered, because they found out that I was a CCIM, I was offered a position as director of leasing at Miami International Commerce Center.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, hold on. That's after you got your CCIM.
After I got my CCIM.
Let's step back a little bit, because between now and let's talk a little bit about the journey, because a lot of people that listen to the podcast are either in the journey or have gone through the journey. For us, that we're now on the other side, or living with a PIN. We've gotten the PIN. The journey of getting to the PIN or obtaining the PIN is always an interesting journey, from all the different tests and different things. And I think you have an interesting story. You're taking one of your, we have the 4 core classes plus a couple extra electives that we could take. And during, you were traveling for one of those classes, right?
Steve, my broker, always encouraged us to take a class outside of Miami.
Mm.
So instead of, because the CCIM classes are held all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
So he would always encourage me, I went to Washington, D.C. I was PIN in Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Atlanta, Georgia. I took a class there, and I took one in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Now, I think the Scottsdale, Arizona was a memorable.
Very memorable. Unfortunately, for the good things and the wrong things, it was 9/11 at that time.
Mm.
And I remember we were in class, and all of a sudden the teacher made an announcement, and he told us what had happened in New York and all that. And we were stuck in Scottsdale for a few days.
Wow.
So that was very interesting.
So you got to become, or at least make some more friends, or get a chance to build more friendships and relationships there.
Through my CCIM process, I met a lot of interesting people. I learned a lot. And I was offered jobs.
Nice.
Everywhere.
Wow.
Yes. And one was supposed to, I was with ExxonMobil.
ExxonMobil?
Yes.
Wow.
But that meant I had to relocate to Texas.
Mm.
And I would be traveling to South America.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't take that job because I wanted to stay in Miami. But that's how much CCIM does for you. It just opens up your eyes to so many opportunities. And I've been very blessed.
Wow, wow. So you said you got pinned in Washington? I believe you said in DC, Washington, DC?
2003.
In 2003. And then, so after that, you're still here in Miami, and then you have, you said, I believe you said something about the airport?
Yes. But that's when I was working as director of leasing at Miami International Commerce Center, located right here at Airport West in Doral. And I was offered a director of leasing position. I oversaw 3.5 million square feet of industrial warehouse space. We had over 350 tenants. I concluded over 400 lease transactions.
Wow.
And I learned a lot. I learned tremendously a lot.
And I'm sure your CCIM, especially like 103 that talks about leasing, helped with some of that transaction and some of that growth that you had there.
Oh, yes. I mean, that was my favorite class, 103.
Really?
Yes. That was my favorite. Yes. So, no, I mean, it was just the journey to learn everything and everything clicked. And from learning to use a financial calculator, I remember I had no idea. But I mean, I knew it's simple stuff, but to figure out all these things.
Yeah.
CCIM taught me everything. Yeah.
Nice. And then was that then after the airport?
What happened was that at the time I was married, my husband passed. He had, fortunately, he died of cancer. So he was. I stepped out of commercial real estate for a little bit. I couldn't do full time anymore because I wanted to be with him. I wanted to take care of him and spend time with him. So I left commercial real estate for a little bit. I was working part-time in a property manager's office. And so that gave me the opportunity to accompany my husband to his chemotherapies and I would be able to work part-time.
Right.
And he unfortunately passed on in 2014. And that's when I jumped back into real estate with
Comrell. Your time there, you said you had there was a certain building that was very famous around Miami.
Well, back then, living in South Florida, we're the gateway to Latin America. I remember one time, I can tell you a story. We had a tenant at MICC, and he stored drugs in the warehouse.
Oh my goodness!
Yes.
So instead of
what they did, they I don't know what they did. They dug in the ground, and they had like an underground place to put the drugs in. And one time there were cops and everybody was there, helicopters.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Miami Vice in real life.
Yes. And so there's a lot of stories about
I'm
that.
sure there's a lot of stories. So you've homegrown here in Miami. You've been around the Miami scene for a while. So you've seen Miami really develop over the last 20, 30 years.
Oh, absolutely. Years. Yes. I mean, again, being the gateway to Latin America, and we have a lot of international businesses here, and a lot of logistics, a lot of freight forwarders, a lot of international companies are located here in South Florida. And I was fortunate to be involved with all that. That kept me busy, excited. You had people from all over Venezuela, Colombia, Argentina. You had them all here looking for warehouse space and
yeah. Well, it's interesting. There's some people that don't realize that one of the things that Miami did, and through the Miami Chamber of Commerce, one of the first free trade zone FTZs.
Exactly.
And I think Miami Chamber was very instrumental to have like the entire county as an FTZ, and therefore help out with a lot of that freight forward. So a lot of things can come from a different part, come here and get traded and then go, and then get repacked and leave without having the tax implications.
Exactly. Yes.
Here. So
yes.
that really has helped catapult Miami, is, to use your word, catapult, of into the logistic side of things, and being that gateway, having a lot of import export activity going here. And obviously with industrial, that's a big part of it.
It is. And our market has gone up and has gone down. We've seen it. We've seen it all. But there's always opportunity. As long as the market is moving, whether it's up or down, there's always opportunity. When it's still, when nobody's doing anything, making a decision, then that's when we have to worry.
Yeah.
But thank God we've been South Florida. It's a really hot area.
It is hot. I know we had a really big boom in industrial overall over the nation, especially right around COVID or post COVID. Yes. Went through a strong growth. I think it's softening up a little bit on a national, and then Miami is feeling a little bit of the softening in the industrial kind of growth. But I still see demand for industrial. And then one of the interesting things with Miami is, like, we have a lot of the new big, shiny, big box industrial, but I think you can also attest to a lot of the small bay mom and pop type of industrial, where you have the auto mechanics and the paint booths, especially like in the Hialeah area. It seems to be never goes out of fashion.
No. And thank God for them, because they're the ones that have kept us going sometimes, because you see these large box companies, sometimes they don't make it.
Yeah.
And these mom and pop businesses have supported, maintained this South Florida market. And when I was a director of leasing at MICC, I mean, there were small bays. Our smallest bay was 1,800 square feet. Of course, the largest we had over 100,000, but most of them were 2,000 to 5,000 square feet. And again, mom and pop businesses. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that seems to be a very strong driving engine in the local economy.
Yes.
And I don't foresee that changing anytime soon.
We hope not.
I hope not. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely need them. With that, we've seen some growth in Miami. You've been around, and you recently just started telling us, or you shared with us, that you are now looking to retire of sort and have early retirement.
Yes, and thank God to CCIM, I am going to retire early.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, that's amazing.
Yes.
So you mentioned that, CCIM, and through the relationships you made and so forth, has helped you not just with your deal size, but also to invest in certain properties, right?
I was very fortunate that I was able to invest on several income properties, and thank God I still have. I've lost a few, but we've all been up through our ups and downs, but I am thankful that I've been successful, and now I work when I want to, not because I have to.
Wow.
And I definitely want to continue with CCIM. I'm not going to leave CCIM.
You better not. No, Patricia, we really.
I owe my career, my life to CCIM. My success it's all been because of CCIM. And I want to be, I'm an ambassador, and I'm a mentor.
Nice. So
whenever someone wants to pick my brain, or if I love young people, we need more young people in our industry, and I want to mentor them. I want them to ask me questions, and I want to help them out to be successful, just like I was.
Wow. Well, on that note, let's say you had a chance to talk to a young Patricia, going back all these years and so forth. Is there something that you would say that you wish somebody had told you, or what would you say to a young Patricia about the industry and, being in commercial real estate?
Well, I think we have to be patient. We can't go into instant gratification that you're going to make $1 million in your first year or something like that. It's consistent work, consistent homework that you got to do, and you have to be, how do I say, don't give up easily. I mean, when I was young, I would not get things on writing. So, for example, if I would talk to somebody and that they want me, oh, I want to look for a warehouse space. Can you look for something for me? This, and that. And I would start showing them warehouse spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get a tenant representation agreement signed by them. And for some reason, sometimes they would like, someone else called me and I'm going to work with them. Oh, that property, I'm going to see it with somebody else or something like that. So it always protects you to get things in writing, to cross your T's, dot your I's. But again, as far as instant gratification, it takes a while. Sometimes door knocking. I remember when I was just door knocking, that lead might not happen until 6 months, a year later.
Mm-hmm.
They'll call you.
Wow.
But don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give up. And that's what I learned mostly about commercial real estate, is that you once you start it going, it's all going to ricochet in a very positive way, and you'll just get deals done right after each other.
Wow.
One after the other.
Wow, that's very wise word. Absolutely. A lot of people get started and they just get very excited and they're like, oh, I talked to somebody that just want to do this and talk. Yeah, talk is one thing, but definitely have it documented. And I think today in the modern age, what I'm seeing from some of these young folks is they do still have the same kind of issues. They're like, oh, I talked to this person. They want me to find them something. And I was like, do you have any documents? Like, yeah, I have a text. and I know text is a very convenient way to communicate, but not necessarily, I would say that's an official documentation that you are now, exclusively representing a tenant or a buyer or something, or a landlord or something like that.
Yeah.
So definitely documentation. When they talk about women in real estate and people that have been able to kind of help grow the presence of women in real estate here in South Florida, your name comes up many times. And as a very positive, kind of being that trailblazer of opening and being a face for the females, for the ladies, to work, especially industrial, is a very difficult male-dominated type of sector. And you, with your beautiful smile and your personality, have been able to break down some of those doors and barriers, and I think make it easier for some of the females as a whole, because there are a lot of females that have worked really hard to establish themselves in this industry. So I like to just acknowledge that, and I'm sure on behalf of the future generations and so forth, say thank you for a lot of stuff that you've done there. Are there any kind of thoughts behind that?
Well, speaking of women in commercial real, I love women in commercial real estate. I think that's amazing. I've seen it a little bit more and more as the years have progressed in my career, and I love it. I love to see women in a warehouse space. Oh, this is dock high space. Ceiling height is 20, 30 feet. The voltage is this, so that we know what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And that's amazing. That's great. I love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes. You're dealing with property, you're dealing with business people, with property owners, with business owners, and they want to do deals, and they want to talk to somebody that knows what they're doing.
Right.
And being a CCIM and being a woman in that real estate and knowing your stuff is really exciting.
Well, that's amazing. And as we've been talking a lot about CCIM, one of the pillars of CCIM is definitely growth and education and deal making. So yes. I think you've been able to embody all of those things and continue to be a very strong part of the Miami district, the CCIM Miami district, and the commercial real estate landscape here in South Florida and beyond. So, Patricia, any parting words that you'd like to say as we start wrapping up?
No, I just want to say that being successful in commercial real estate it takes work. It takes a lot of work. If you have the education, if you know what you're doing, it's going to be so much easier when you know that you're talking to somebody and you are both on the same page, and you could educate them. If you knock on one door and they say, okay, thank you, go back in 3 months, go back in 6 months. You never know. Don't give up. Mm-hmm. Don't give up. And I just want to thank again CCIM for making me successful, for allowing me to retire early. But like I said, again, I am not leaving, and I'm here to mentor anybody who wants to be helped. So thank you, Ruben, for this great opportunity.
Thank you, Patricia. Thank you for everything you've done and will continue to do. Past president for CCIM Miami District. You're part of our hospitality or the mentorship. And there's so much that people don't know, the behind the scenes stuff that you do with CCIM. And on behalf of myself and the board and everybody that I've talked to, thank you for everything you've done. And we'll look forward to just continuing and seeing you around. And I hope you enjoy your more relaxed retirement time. So thank you, Patricia.
Thank you, Ruben.
Thanks for joining us on CRE Cafecito, the CCIM Miami podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow, subscribe, and share it with others in the commercial real estate community. Stay connected, stay inspired, and as always, keep fueling success in commercial real estate.